Okay, this is Tony again here in the kite shop. Okay, so this is kind of part two. I've started laying out parts to be cut out, and the when I start laying things out, I try to get into the computer and have the computer help nest things. And nesting is when we well, in the perfect world, try to lay things out so you get the best use of your fabric. And I hope you can see this good without too much jiggling around, because I'm just holding this by hand. But you can see in this computer printout here, down at this end, I don't know if you can tell that, I got our 3 keels drawn in. Then we got our ribs here. Then we got our 1 bottom panel, 3 more bottom panels, 3 top panels, and then a 4th top panel. Okay? Now, that's in a perfect world. In the real world, we rarely ever get to nest things this perfect. If we were using all a single color, you'd get pretty close to that. And what I'm going to show you here, as soon as I get done with this piece of paper here, I'm going to be close to that because I'm using pretty much just red and black on this kite that I'm building. Okay, so okay, anyway, when you start laying out your parts that you're going to be cutting, whenever possible, you want to try to use the straight edge of your fabric. Okay, so your ribs, whenever you can, line your temples up with the bottom edge of the fabric. Of course, hopefully I'll have all your keels cut. And your ribs, always try, and your top and bottom panels, always start with a, start along one of your edges of the fabric. Then, of course, on your panels, you're going to just nest them right next to each other. On this 54-inch wide fabric, you'll be able to get 3 next to each other. Then you'll have to put 1 out here. And depending on, what your colors are going to be, it depends on how, just whatever the colors are going to be, how many panels you get on a piece of fabric. And of course, you're going to have other people probably trying to use that same piece of fabric. So when we start cutting fabric, you want to use as much of the fabric as possible. Okay? Now, when you can't use a bottom edge of the fabric or the edge of the fabric, let me see, like in the picture here, or on the drawing, well, I'll tell you what, like, I can't show you really that. Let me see. Okay, here, can you see that? Yeah, that rib there. Of course, in order to nest it in there good and use the fabric, obviously there's no straight edge of the fabric. So you always, whenever possible, even though you're going to waste some fabric, always run your piece, well, we'll call it left and right, okay? Always run it left and right. You don't ever want to hand drew a piece of, a little square in here. Try to avoid putting a piece in crooked like that. Okay, because your grain of the fabric runs left and right. So you don't want to put a piece like this. All right. So when you have to, and you can't use the edge of the fabric, run it, left and right, best you can. So down here, I'll show you how the keels are done. Kind of show you that. So once again, the keels are 26 inches deep or tall. So I'll just simply run my 26-inch line up. Come down here 75 inches. Run another 26-inch line up. Connect the top of this line down there to that line. Then I take my 8-foot straight edge and draw a line there, and I got my two of the keels. And then for the third keel, I come here, or start here, come down 26 inches, and go down to that point. Get my finger here. Go down to that point there, and put my straight edge down. Now I got 3 keels. So if we have a lot of people using the same color keels, then I would just, make this, a double keel here, and just keep right on going right down the fabric. So that's how you kind of lay stuff out. You always want to use as much of the fabric, the best use of the fabric, because fabric's expensive. Okay, so already we've used almost 5 yards of fabric just right here. And when we start laying the top and bottom panels out, then you really start using fabric. And of course, I got one more rib to do. And so right now I've got the keels done, or laid out. I got a outside rib there done, outside rib here done. Then I've got 2 of the inner ribs done, and you can kind of tell that because I've drawn the where the vent holes would go. Now I actually do that a little differently, the way I do it, but for the class we'll probably do them like that. I might change that up a little bit. I don't know, but for right now, you cut that out, then you would go back with your hot pin and just go around the circles and cut that out. Make sure you put something underneath so we don't burn a hole in the table. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off here, cut these out, draw out my other rib, draw the top panels, and I'll probably do a real quick video showing those. Cut those out, and then go on to the keel tips, what we call the keel tips. Okay, so for right now, that's it. Bye.